Hi, Claire. I'm Lisa. I'm support team manager here at Mummy Star. Some women get in touch with us when they are first diagnosed, others at a later point. And we know that lots of women get thrown into a cycle of appointments and treatment and sometimes reach out for support once treatment is finished. Is there an appropriate time to seek support, or is this different for everybody?
Most definitely different for everybody. And you find that once a diagnosis has taken place, they're so busy with appointments, they're so consumed with what next, what's their treatments, they're learning their treatments, they're learning their cancer, they're learning what medicines they need, what the next steps are. Is it operational? Is it, is it going to be radiotherapy, chemotherapy? There's so much going on for when diagnosis happens. You tend to find that at the time they're running with it and they don't really have time, and they haven't got time to even think about themselves or what their needs are. And a lot of my clients say it's at the end, and all of a sudden the treatments are finished and it's like, right, what now? Because everything, it's almost like radio silence, and it's like, what now? Where do we go? Who do we talk to? And sadly, there isn't really an awful lot of professional free help there for diagnosis when it does come to the end of that treatment. It just really does vary from person to person, but you generally find it's at the end of treatments they come. That's when they will seek that time, because then they've got time, their brain is computing what's happened and where they need to go next. Who do they talk to? Where do they go? Where do they find somebody to talk to, apart from their partners and their friends? And sometimes they want to come to you and talk to you about things that they don't want to say to their partners and their friends, because they've always got to be positive for everybody, and sometimes they don't want to be positive. It's really difficult, really. I think it's really difficult for them to know when and where to go to.
And sorry, Claire, I hope I'm not jumping in on top of you there. And yeah, I mean, I guess, at Mummy Star, we are here throughout and for as long as our women and families need us. And as I said, often we hear from people maybe when they're first diagnosed and then they don't get back in touch for a while, and that's absolutely fine. So I think just knowing, hopefully, that we are here at any point is helpful. I just wanted to pick up quickly on one other thing you mentioned there, which was just really interesting to me. Just, you keep sort of mentioning the words learn and learning, and I've just never really thought about it in those terms before. And I wondered if you could even just say a little bit more about that, just about, because you're absolutely right. It is, you have to learn about cancer and you have to try and understand what's going on as best you can, and the different treatment regimes. Is that quite a helpful way for people to look at their diagnosis?
I think that I think what I'm learning through training and CPD, because as a counsellor you're constantly learning, you're constantly working on CPD, and I'm on Instagram a lot, and I follow a lot of people on Instagram diagnosed with cancer. And a lot of the time it is about learning their cancers. I spoke to my daughter's best friend is a cancer nurse in the children's unit in the Royal Marsden, and I spoke to her about it, and I said, sometimes I don't really understand. And she said, sometimes I don't either. She said, some patients know their cancers better than we do. And we learn with them, and we go with them, or they learn. And also, when you're diagnosed with cancer, it's who am I? They're learning again to who am I, because they're not that person that they were before. everything changes, you know, from the question about the anxiety or the anniversaries, there's always reminders that come up. And so there's always going to be this, there's always going to be there. There's always going to be something for them to find out. And for me, it's always a learning about how do I cope with this? What do I do? Because if you've never done it before, or you don't know about it, how would you know? So I use that word. I don't even probably realise that I use that word learning. And I guess probably as a counsellor, I'm always learning, and I'm always learning from my patients. So I would imagine that's what they're doing too. They're exploring. Maybe the words I should use is explore.